Hello, I'm Nancy Smith Mattox on WYTV7 on Shine Your Light Radio Ministry, and I'm so excited to be here. You're going to love this interview today. This young man is just really had a very tragic and very sad testimony, but he's going to make it all right. He does go by I Am Unique. He is a Christian rap artist. He has a rap band that is called Dreamcatchers, and I think you're going to love to hear this. I'm so excited to have him. His name is Dany Adams, and he is from Easley, South Carolina, and he has been through a lot since he was 7 years old. So we're going to take it from here. And Dany, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great today, and I'm so appreciative that you're on here to share your story with us. I think the world's going to need to hear this, and my prayer is always for when my audience hears my shows and my interviews that they get something from it and that it helps them along their way and maybe prevent some of the things that happen to you to happening to them. So let me go ahead and start. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I noticed that your story starts when you're about 7 years old. So can you kind of go through what happened when you were really young?
When I was 7, I was rebellious. I like to do things they didn't want me to do. So sometimes I kind of got into the wrong crowd, even at 7, because people don't pay attention to the people that was around them. So I acted bad. I didn't listen in school. I took a gun to school at the age of 7. It was a BB gun, but I didn't take it to school. Like it was after school, and I lived next door. And I had my BB gun, so I took it with me and went up to the school. But when I did, I left it up against the tree. Well, somebody called the police, and the police said that the gun was school property. So that started my whole tragic.
Wow, that started the downward spiral, didn't it, for you? You had to learn everything the hard way, didn't you? So you were sent to a special school, right, at a young age?
Yes, ma'am. I was sent to Spartanburg Boys Home. It's in Paulding, South Carolina. I was sent there, and I stayed for 7 months. I think I was 10 or 11. And I stayed there for 7 months, and I come home. And when I come home, it was very different because I'm still a child, and I was down there with 17 and 18-year-olds. It was transferring and going to prison, and I was in 5th grade in the group home. So they let me go to off campus. I went to Pauline Elementary School in Spartanburg. It was an experience to say the least. But I come home and I didn't get any better. My dad committed suicide when I was 12. And it even led me even worse. I was really, really rebellious at that point. I was.
Were you at home when your dad committed suicide, Dany? Or were you in the home still?
I was at home. Me and my dad had got into it the night before, and I told him that I wish he would die, and I took off running, because where I lived, my community was all my family, so I took off running, and I come back that night. My daddy was asleep on the couch, passed out drunk. So the next morning, he was sitting at the kitchen table. My mom was going to church, and I was like, Daddy, I'm sorry, I love you. I was like, I'm going to the mall. Can I get some money? He gave me $20. When I left and went with my brother, he went outside and shot and killed himself with a 30-30. It was really hard. That was my best friend.
Wow.
So then I had to battle with why.
You had to battle with that. Did you carry a lot of guilt for that?
I did, because my uncle said my dad had sat down and talked to him the week before and said that I was just going crazy. And my uncle grabbed me by my shirt and he said, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. He had been escorted away. I'm not but 12 years old. So yeah, it was kind of threw on me that it was my fault, and deep down I felt like it was my fault.
Wow, I'm so sorry. That just,
I even had people contacting me telling me that I killed my.
oh, how sad. That's so sad. And you're only 12 years old. You're not responsible for that. I mean, you just can't be held responsible for something like that. That's so sad. So that started you on the track, and you tried to kill yourself about that time too?
Yes, ma'am. Right afterwards, I had there was a tree in the backyard right where my dad killed himself, and I tied a noose around my neck, and the tree broke. The tree branch
Oh,
broke, smacked me in the head.
well, that was
So then
God
I
right
started
there.
rebelling. Oh yeah, that was God. So
That,
I kept rebelling, trying to kill myself. My mom called. I told my mom I was gonna burn the house down with her in it. And she called the mental hospital, and I was put into the Upstate Evaluation Center, which is in Greenville, Spartanburg. And I stayed there for 2 weeks and kind of got my head together. Things got better, but it didn't get great.
do you know to this day what caused all that rebellion, Danny?
I don't.
So, I mean, you just think it was a
I feel
matter
like
of
it was,
circumstances?
honestly, I feel like it was a demonic form that was on me. Because I feel like it was on my dad, and he couldn't beat it. That's why he committed suicide. But I feel like that since I've got older, that my faith has got stronger, and I've been able to defeat that, and it hasn't been able to take me like it took him.
Yeah. Well, I know this is hard to talk about, and I appreciate so much you sharing it with us, because we always think we're alone when things like this happen to us, and really it's happening every day to other people. So any words of encouragement that you can talk about in your real story is what WYTV7 is all about out of Charlotte. We are a nonprofit, and we do take donations, and we use those donations to help the community, to have people like you talk about this so we can get in the community to help more young people, to keep them maybe going down the same path. I was just telling our executive producer that I've never read a story that started as young as yours. I've interviewed over 100 people, and I've never heard such a tragic testimony and a tragic story that started so young. I mean, it just got you on the wrong path. But anyway, I appreciate any seeds that anyone can plant, because it will give us more chance to get out into the communities, to help with literacy, to go into the churches, and to show these interviews that can be so helpful to everybody else, and especially young people. Um, Now, on December the 23rd, you wait a minute now. You got kicked out at age 18, right? So you'd gone through so much already, but you were back home. And was that what you were talking about when your mother kicked you out because you were threatening to burn the house down or something? Is that what caused that?
No, ma'am. I was young. I was young when that.
Oh, okay.
So I got in more trouble and got sent to. I got sent off. I went to the Department of Juvenile Justice. I went for 2.5 years. And I went down there. And then I got transferred to Springbrook Behavioral Health, which was a mental facility. I stayed there for two. I got out when I was 16. I went when I was 12. I got out when I was 16. And the whole outlook was different. I went down and I was in the middle group. I got a part of a gang. Things started to adapt to me, but it was different. So at 16, when I got out, it was okay, but I started back to school. Everybody was like, oh, he was in jail. So now I got to uphold that reputation. They told me that since I was behind being in jail, that I was going to be in remedial classes. I'd be in special ed classes. So it was just like, I can do fourth grade work and I can go have fun. So that's what happened. And my mom was getting back with her first husband, and I supposed to got my dad's house. And instead, my dad's family took the house from me and kicked me on the street. And I had to wear, it was kind of like a choice, but it was I was 18. I was living life. I didn't really have nobody. It was too many orders. I didn't have nobody that wanted to be there for me. My mom was having to live her life at the point. So I mean, I was sleeping on train tracks. I remember my first night. I was in a a little house that people got built outside, a little playhouse for a kid. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be warm, and then it started raining. Man, it wasn't warm because there wasn't no top on it. So I slept in canoes and trash cans, cardboard, but it was a choice. But it just gets crazy. It gets crazy. And then that leads you to wanting to do drugs to stay up at night. So that started me hanging around the wrong people to stay up to doing meth. And it led me down a bad road.
Okay, and then when you were 18, you talked in your bio about how you almost got beat to death. So tell us a little bit about that story. And I know these are hard to talk about, but I really think that it can help a lot of people by hearing this. Okay?
When I was 18, yeah, 18 or 19. I was at home. My mom just had bought me a trailer. Things had been going good. The neighbors, some little young boys, I was like, oh, you have to be big and strong. I went down there and was trying to be all hard, and they hung out with me. We drank some beers, smoked some weed, and walked around and hung out, did stuff that we shouldn't have, and then it got nighttime, and I passed out, and they beat me with a baseball bat. They crushed my inner lobe in 16 places. They went over my hand with a car, popped my bone out of my leg with a crowbar. I'm on disability this day because it messed up my functioning, not like my everyday functioning, but like my working. I can work for a little while, but then I just break down, and my memory is not always the best.
My goodness, Dany. So the kind of the positive note that I can say, and although that is all so horrible to happen to you at such a young age, God intervened for you several times. I mean, first of all, the tree limb broke that you were trying to hang yourself with. That's God. And now you're beat with a baseball bat and you have all these very serious injuries. And look at you now. God protected you through an awful lot of things. Wow.
I was beat so bad. I had baseball marks up and down, bat marks up and down me. My privates were swelled. They said that possibly I wouldn't have kids because it was that bad. By the grace of God, I got 4 babies now. But it's just I got to thank God because I wouldn't have continued to keep stepping once I got out of the hospital if it wasn't for God.
Absolutely.
And I hadn't changed my weight.
Yeah.
But I know
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk you. It says you had to learn to read, talk, and walk again after that beating.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, not like fully, but like phone numbers. They had to go back over things with me because I was so delusional and so off.
So it was about that time, you're probably around 19 or 20, right? That you started meeting girls and you started having children. You have 4 children, right? From 4 different mothers. So you had to have some wits about you to have children. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the children later on in the interview. But tell us about the first one that you had and that particular child.
I was just trying to be slick. Been drinking one night and went to the food. Well, I seen this girl and she was crying, talking about how her first baby daddy wasn't helping her with diapers. So me trying to be slick, I bought diapers and being sweet. And then I had my little boy. Well, there was a lot of stuff, whether if he was mine or not. And I didn't see him a lot. Well, I was doing not the right thing. So she kind of separated and didn't tell him I was mine. He's 8 now, and he just found out he was my son last week.
And how old is he now?
He's 8.
How old?
8.
8. So you have an 8-year-old. That's your oldest one. Oh, okay.
Yes,
and the people that beat you, was there any repercussions on them? Did they go to jail, Dany? They were young children, right?
Yeah. One of them got an assault battery intent to kill. His family had money, so he got out with 90 days. The girl she owed me like $75,000 restitution. Well, I didn't go to court, so it all got pushed off. And the other guy, he didn't get nothing but probation.
Oh my word, that's so sad. So let's move on because you got 4 babies. Tell us about the second baby. What's going on?
I had met his mom at strip club, and I just kept going. Like, it was just like fast. Well, I'm jealous, so I wouldn't let her leave. Well, then we broke up, and she went to North Carolina. And she come back. Well, then she said she was pregnant, and I was like, "No, you ain't." Well, then she's about to have a child, and I told her, I was like, "That's not mine." And so then she had Connor, and she had him in North Carolina, and then I was, he looks like me, but I wasn't positive he was mine. So we went on the Maury show, and he said, "You are the daddy." He said, "You are the father."
On Maury's show? So you were on Maury Pilver's show? Really? Wow. And you found out that little boy was your baby.
Yes,
So by
ma'am.
now you had
He
2
was.
boys, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So then you had a third baby. Your third baby was a little girl, right?
Yes, ma'am. I had just got out on bond. I had got in some more trouble and got an attempt to murder, first-degree burglary, weapon of violent crime, kidnapping, and petty larceny charge. And the girl that I had with was pregnant because when I got them charges, I was out in the streets bad. So I had somebody pregnant that I was with. Well, I found out that I had somebody pregnant too. So it was kind of dramatic because I had 2 babies on the way. I'm facing 65 years in prison. So I ended up getting out on bond. My first little girl was born. I was there for the only baby I've been there for her to be born. I was there for casing, cut the umbilical cord, was everything. Then my other baby born. So I didn't think she was mine. Got DNA testing. She's mine. She was 99.9% mine. But I see her. She's got a lot of stuff going on, like her family too. So I see her, but
So
it's very.
so between babies, did you go to jail between babies because of all of those things that you just said?
No, ma'am. I did 5 years house arrest,
Oh, okay.
and I had to. Yes, ma'am. I did 5 years house arrest, and I had 10 years suspended to 5 years house. I'd never been in trouble like as an adult, big. So it got suspended 10 years house arrest, 5 years house arrest, 10 years probation, suspended to 2 years probation. Through the grace of God, I finished my probation at 14 points. I'm free of everything at this point.
Well, I'm telling you, God has been really good to you. God is such an awesome testimony, although it's sad and tragic. But my goodness, God has been good to you. And I want to just share at this point in time that that's what WYTV7 does. We're not a reality show, but we let real people share their story, and we do it to help people realize that you can be redeemed and you can make it through your troubles. And even as young as 7 years old, I mean, things just start to happen, and it tries to take over your life. The devil sets in, the enemy sets in, and if you find God, you do make it through it. So this is really just what really WYTV7 is all about, and really what Shine Your Light is all about. Now, I did read somewhere that someone stabbed you twice. Who was that? Was that the third baby's mama?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness!
Because I was out right before I went to jail. I put my hands on her, and I acted out of character, and not like I was beating her, but I grabbed her. She was pregnant. I've been doing drugs, and she hit me twice in my side. But it wasn't. It was more out of fear that she hit me. But we got past.
So that's like the 4th time in your life that God has saved you, because your kidneys were affected by that stabbing, right?
I had level 3 kidney failure at 19 because I was doing methamphetamines and was in a hospital for 3 weeks.
Oh,
and
okay.
My kidneys almost shut down.
My word, my word. Okay,
God's been really good.
let's talk a little bit about when you got saved and how you gave your life to Christ. Danny, tell me a little bit about that.
So I was on house arrest, and everybody was saying, you can't do this, you can't do this. So I started going to school. And I started doing good and started seeing how I was making it. And so then I had to get things together, and I was like, God, let's go to church. So I got my family up one day, and house arrest let me go to church while I found a church. So I went to 5 Point Church, and I had already, when I'm in jail, you get the jailhouse religion. I've been doing Bible studies and everything like that. So I'd already got into, and when I got out, I tried to kill myself again. And God showed up. That was the extreme time when I tried to kill myself. And
wow.
God showed me, look, it's not happening. My mama was calling the TV lines and was praying, and God brought me out of it 3 days in a comatose state at my house. God brought me out of it. So I understand that, and I kept pushing. So he pushed me towards schooling, and I started doing school, volunteering at church, and really just got in tune, man, because God started kicking in, and I graduated I got my GED, not in the intermediate classes, but in regular classes. I graduated, got my GED. I spoke at graduation. I went to college and got a certificate in manufacturing, graduated with the honors. Man, like I say, God's just been
Oh my
completely
word,
great
God.
to me.
You have such an awesome testimony. I want to talk a little bit about your group. I noticed that your shirt says Dreamcatchers. You are a award-winning Christian rap artist. So tell us a little bit about Dreamcatchers and how God put you into that and how that happened.
See, I have a label called Unique Entertainment that I made in 2012. And it's me and my friend Space Jam. He's an artist, but it's of the world. It's worldly music, worldly rap. So we still have that, but Dreamcatchers is the street team, the ministry, the urban side. So I was nominated for Urban Artist of the Year at the Steeple Awards in Atlanta for 2017. I lost by 82 votes, but I was, man, God just humbled me, man. He showed me humility on that. I was also nominated for the Media Arts Award I was semifinalist at Tri-County Technical College. And God kind of put it into me. My homeboy was like, we ain't chasing dreams, we're catching them. Dreamcatchers. And I'm like, okay. So the black shirts represent, or the dark shirts represent, like, where we're absorbing light. We're absorbing any kind of spirit, any kind of positive, we're absorbing it. The white around the heart and the stomach and the chest area is like a mirror. It's a light. It's reflecting back because we're outreach ministers. We're doing things. We're making a change. We're showing people something different, and we're being a light. So
wow.
it was something, and God put it on me. And we just now today, I got a shipment in. It's called The Battle of a Survivor. It is our Dreamcatchers' first CD. We'll be releasing it on April 20th. It's amazing what God's done for us.
Wow, God's been so good to you. Be sure and let me know the link to the CD when it's released, because I want to be sure and put that on there and show that to everyone. Also, one main thing, we're almost out of time, but one more thing I wanted to chat about real quick is on June 29th, you have a very special event coming up. It's Hope for the Homeless. So you're also tied up with that, the Dreamcatchers are. So tell us a little bit about that and do a little advertisement on that event for June 29th.
So the Dreamcatchers, something real quick. When I was speaking, I public speak also. So I went and I was speaking at the school that I graduated from. Went and I seen my face. Tri-County Tech did an article on me, and they published it. Well, I didn't know that. So I seen it. It made me cry. And I was like, God wants me to change the city. So I wanted to help. Like I told earlier, I was homeless. So I wanted to help the homeless. There's a big problem. Well, I didn't realize that my mentor, such a great friend right now, Pastor Tracy Gant and the First Lady Sunshine Gant, they have Sunshine and Tracy Gant Ministries. They have started the Pickens County Shelter of Hope Pickens. I didn't realize what they were doing, but it's the first emergency shelter in Pickens. They are doing so much. Well, God kind of was like, look, we're not the same, but here, help them as much as you can. So, and we got to bring unity. Dreamcatchers' whole theme is the 2019 is unity. So what we're doing is we're going to have dump booth, bounce houses. We're going to have live music. It starts at 2 o'clock and it's until 8. We're going to have live music, vendors, lots of fun. It's a free event. We'll have raffle tickets of 50-50. And then at, I think, 5 o'clock, we're going to have a talent show starts. The winner of the talent show, Dreamcatchers, will be presenting $100 and the trophy to the first place, and I think trophies to the second, third place. But we got judges. Man, it's just to show that we can all come together. What's it say when it was little? What was the song that everybody heard? It's Jesus loves me, this I know. You know, he said red, yellow, black, and white, they're a precious sight. Yes, Jesus loves me. Like,
yes, sir.
We all got to come together as one body because there's one God. We got to stop looking at everybody and judging them because their beliefs are a little bit different, or because their look on life's a little bit different, or maybe because their Jesus is a little bit different. They might not understand the way you understand. God didn't make us all brain surgeons. He didn't make us all ministers. He made us all missionaries. So it's how we choose to use it. You know, we got to break it down and break the cycle.
Now we're gonna try to post that event, Hope for the Homeless Summer Bash. We're gonna try to post that event so you can get a little bit more exposure for it. And WYTV7 is also involved with the homeless. We prepared 100 care packages for the homeless last year. So that was one of our tasks that we do. We do a lot for the community. So I'm so happy that you shared with us your awesome story, your awesome testimony. And we are out of time, but I'm going to call you back again. And I really want you to be sure you stay in touch with me. Stay in touch with Shine Your Light and WYTV7 so we can get you some advertising and things like that. And I appreciate you so much, Dany. You are just a beautiful spirit, okay?
You have a good night.